Katy Perry is back, but did she read the room?
Church art. Awe-inspiring or nightmare-inducing? You be the judge.
Your doppelganger might just be in an art gallery.
How do you get a private tour of the Louvre? Stay tuned to find out.
From Southern California's largest paint and sip studio, Spotlight with Purple Easel.
Welcome to Purple Easel Spotlight, where we put the spotlight on artists and creatives. My name's Latoya.
And I'm Megan.
And we're both art instructors here at Purple Easel, the world's largest paint and sip studio. I always say the world's. I really don't know if I think it's the state.
There was that one that technically I think might have more square footage, but they were like the splatter art in Texas or something.
Yeah.
It's different. It's different. So we're good.
Yeah, we got a good episode for you today. I think we dressed up for the episode a little bit.
A little bit.
But before we get started... Wait, what was that?
That earring does not want to cooperate.
Put it back on.
There's no back.
Oh.
Shut out.
Tell it to stop.
Jerk.
It's cute, though.
Well... Okay, we got one.
Well, we got a good episode for you today. We got all sorts of cute things that we want to talk about. Before we get into the cute things and the news, though, Megan, what's going on in your life?
Kids started back at school on Monday.
Okay.
So that's exciting. I have a huge list of things to finally take care of now that summer is over. I've not done a single one of them. But we had our little last hurrah last week. We went to Disneyland.
Oh, okay.
And I decided I wanted to experience Disneyland in a whole new way. And it was a lot of fun.
Really? Did you get drunk?
No. But my mom used to tell me stories about how they would smuggle in wineskins, basically, and be drunk at Disney all day. You can drink over at California Adventure.
Oh, that's right.
So if you really got to, but rides and drinking just doesn't, hot. No thanks.
Tummy aches.
Anyway, so I used to not be a cast member technically, like not at Disneyland, but I had a cast member pass when I worked at Lego down there at downtown Disney. So I love Disney. I like to just go there, hang out, eat some food. Like it doesn't even have to be a ride full day. And we weren't expecting much because it was like 80 something degrees, still summer. It was on a Thursday. But it wasn't that bad. It really wasn't, which was great. And it gave me moments. So I went throughout the day. It started raining a little bit at one point. We were over in Star Wars land, and I just looked up, and I'm like, that's kind of cool. Click. And then it became my thing for the whole day. So I took all these, like, texture pictures and, like, close-ups of various things throughout Disneyland that just kind of, like, the little moments, the details. Because that's really what makes it for me. The artistry that they put into everything, just the way that the lines are designed and stuff to keep people occupied.
True.
So I got some cool moments, at least I thought so.
I didn't know you were a photographer.
I didn't know either. But I had so much fun. I was just posting into my stories all day, and I didn't tell anybody on the stories like where we were. I didn't tag it. So nobody figured it out, which I have lots of friends who have passes and stuff. And I mean, they're a little bit abstract, but if you know, you know, right? At least in theory. I thought there were some that were dead giveaways, like some Haunted Mansion ones that I put up and stuff, but apparently not. But it was a lot of fun.
Okay.
And it made the day go quick, and the lines were no big deal. And my kid's like, oh, take a picture of that, Mom. Yes.
You're like, I was in it. So you're kind of like snooping around.
Yeah.
Kind of like a little treasure hunt kind of.
It totally was. And, there's hidden Mickeys and there's other things there, but I just wanted to kind of admire some of the design.
No, these are really good pictures.
Well, thanks.
Yeah.
Just
they look very
professional.
Oh, wow.
I know.
Oh.
Well, so anybody really can do it.
Yeah.
Yay, phones. Pocket cameras.
I don't know how photographers feel actually about that these days, because I feel like back in the days you would have to have like super crazy professional phones, but now we just got the like smartphones and they take great pictures.
They do. And it really depends on the photographer. I think there are photographers that specialize in iPhone photos and they're like, look, I can get everything I need from this.
Yeah.
And then there's other people who get their big giant lenses out and wildlife photography and stuff. So it really depends.
Okay. Well, that was a good week.
Yeah. So what about you?
Well, mine was pretty uneventful. I painted some dragons.
That sounds like quite the event to me.
Well, the interesting thing about the dragons is, so here at Purple Easel, we paint like 2-dimensional on canvas, right?
Yeah.
And
It's not so easy, is
It's not so
it?
easy. And the craziest thing is I used to paint Warhammer figurines. So I was like, oh, I can
You've
do
done this.
Yeah, on a smaller scale than the dragons. And I got it. So the blue one here took an hour and a half.
No.
Yeah, and I still just looking at it, I see the imperfections. I got to go back. No, actually, this is the picture I took before I made more perfections. Anyways,
Okay.
yeah, it sucks because it's you gotta get the nook and crannies and you can't quite, and you gotta bend the wings, and you're like, I just want the base color, and you're like, no one's gonna see that anyways. So.
Right. So much for saving money. Is your time worth it, Toya? Is it worth it?
I should have got Caleb to do it.
You should have. I was just thinking of his little keychains.
Yes.
His dinosaurs. I'm like, that's the pro right there.
Exactly.
Just source it out.
I was painting this and I was like, Caleb should have done this.
Yep.
So Caleb is a coworker here and he paints dinos.
Yes, he loves his dinosaurs.
yes.
And we love that he loves his dinosaurs.
And dragons are just dinos.
They really are.
I just feel like I was
Dinos
painting
with
dinos.
wings. Yeah.
Exactly. So, and then I made some capes because, I'm having the Renaissance or medieval wedding. So my mom wants a cape and my brother wants a cape. So I sewed that. So that's some artsy stuff that I
Yeah.
did this week.
Right on. Maybe we should have Caleb sew me a cape. He has a sewing machine. I do not.
I don't either. So it's a new one. Yeah.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah, I've sewn a few pillows by hand. Pillows. Real simple.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Nothing complicated. And Caleb actually makes his own stuffed animals, and he comes up with all the patterns to make wolves and foxes and all kinds of stuff. He's a genius when it comes to that.
Yeah.
Great.
This is why I should have contacted him.
Yeah. Caleb on deck.
Yep. So on to some art news. I don't know if you guys know, but Katy Perry is back.
Did she go somewhere?
I don't know. To me, she's back.
She had a baby, right?
Yeah.
Orlando. And then she was doing American Idol.
See, I didn't know that either. I did, but it wasn't because I don't watch American Idol as much. So.
I just knew that she was
okay.
one
Well,
of
she's
the
back
people.
as in making music.
Okay.
So there's that.
There's that.
But she's not really welcomed with open arms with her latest single, Woman's World. Listeners think the song is kind of outdated. It's not great. And it's stirring up some controversy because the song is about female empowerment, but she collaborated with a music producer that's super well known to have extreme sexual allegations with Kesha.
Maybe not the best choice then?
Exactly. So sometimes I think I don't know if artists should have a resurgence sometimes. Sometimes they should just stop. I don't
Go out on a high.
yeah. Because how I remember Katy Perry is California girls. And then
I remember the first time I ever saw her was on So You Think You Can Dance, when they used to have musical guests. And I Kissed a Girl. It was the first time I ever saw. I was like, wow, that song's pretty catchy.
Yeah, no, it's super catchy.
Okay.
Good song.
But that's the extent of my knowledge of Katy Perry. So,
Yeah, samesies.
In other news, the Spanish Association of Conservationists and Restorationists, boy, that's a mouthful.
Yeah.
Is demanding answers.
Demanding answers.
They need them because this travesty has occurred.
Oh, you know those old Hulk or
Stretch Armstrong?
Yeah, the Stretch Armstrong. This looks like one of those. This looks like one of the Stretch Armstrongs.
These are the creepiest cherubs in the history of the universe.
These are supposed to be cherubs?
They're cherubs. They're cherubs wearing a column as a backpack. So this church in Spain recently got a facelift, and they decided to paint all this trim, this really pretty mauve pink color, which I like. I don't know if it has any historical relevance, that particular color. But it really made these wonky cherubs stand out and not in a good way.
Oh my God.
not in a good way. And I don't know if they were that bad before and you just couldn't tell because it was all white and it blended in.
That's probably
Or if
what
they
happened.
did something to them to make them even more awkward when they painted. But the restoration committee, upon seeing the before and afters,
Okay.
has been like, yo, there's a process in place for this, and we need to make sure that we're using authenticated artists to do these things. And they say, until qualified professionals supervise and execute our cultural heritage, we must remain attentive to the unforeseen.
This reminds me of the Monkey Jesus. I don't know if you've seen it.
Same group establishment that was like, no Monkey Jesus, no.
Really?
Yes, so it is. And they've tightened things up since then. Since Monkey Jesus became a meme. Maybe we can find it and pop it up there for you. But yeah, they're still having issues with rogue.
There's no shading. The eyes are just like, they just put like dots for eyes. No texture on the hair. At least like on this Armstrong, they could have done maybe like, I don't know, leaves or something around the crotch area.
I mean, what are these arms though? Really? This is like,
and he's so
they're
tough.
so disproportionate.
Yeah, there's that too. That's also a huge problem.
And
why is it so, everything around it's so beautiful, but why, it's like, it's not done by the same person. Like, it can't be. Because there's so much detail around it.
I mean, the painters did a great job. Look at how crisp those lines are. But at the same time, like, was that really the best decision here?
Bright red lipstick. Like, yeah, no.
Yeah. Some not great decision making happening. Poor church.
You could have done good.
We could have done more.
We could have done good.
We could have done better. Yeah.
I think that's crazy.
Right? There are literally people whose entire existence is to make these kind of sculptures, to make this kind of architectural detail. And they're like, no, we don't need this.
Just out the window.
Just call the guys down the street who paint houses for a living.
Yeah.
Get them in here with their scaffolding. We'll be good.
That's so insane. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. I
thought you'd like some demonic cherubs.
That's crazy. Oh, also in crazy news, this is also kind of creepy a little bit. So your doppelganger might be in an art museum in New York. Ooh. So there's like an art gallery kind of installation situation called Stranger Visions by Heather Dewey Hagborg.
Okay.
And she writes,
oh boy.
In Stranger Visions, I collected hairs, chewing gum, and cigarette butts from the streets, public bathrooms, and waiting rooms of New York City. I extracted DNA from them and analyzed it into computationally generated 3D printed life-size full-color portraits representing what those individuals might look like based on genomic research. Working with the traces strangers unwittingly left behind, the project was meant to call attention to the developing technological and forensic DNA phenotyping, the potential for a culture of biological surveillance, and the impulse towards genetic determinism. That was just a lot of like, I just made.
It's very Big Brother.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's, wow. So I've seen like reconstructions of what they think, Richard III would have looked like based on the DNA they found, or pharaohs and stuff like that. But just random people, like, let me just get some DNA. Don't know whose it is.
That's weird, right?
I'm gonna take this chewing gum.
Yeah, I know. That's weird.
It's weird.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
But that's kind of the point, I guess. You know?
Yeah, the randomness of it. It's, I mean, I guess it's kind of cool, like, just the average Joe kind of situation instead of somebody important.
Yeah, that's
quote unquote. But also, like, you could be hanging there and have no idea. Like,
yeah, no, for real. That's
weird.
Yeah, it's a little.
That's
creepy.
really weird.
It's a little creepy.
And also the fact that there's faces all over the wall. Have you seen Return to Oz?
No.
That is one of the movies that has stuck with me since childhood. And I remember, like, before the internet, trying to describe it to people, and they're like, no, you're crazy. That doesn't exist. There was no sequel. I'm like, It wasn't really a sequel. It was a reimagining. It's different. But there's this scene where like the bad witch lady has all these heads and cases, and she just picks one for the day and puts on a new head. And it was so creepy.
Oh, interesting.
And nobody remembers it. Please, somebody out there, remember it.
Someone in the comments write down, like, you remember this.
It is not just my fever dream. I promise. It was weird.
Okay.
And creepy.
I feel like there's a lot of that stuff that happened in the like 70s, 80s.
Yeah,
where
so the
it
girl who
happened.
played Dorothy was the same girl who played Nancy in The Craft, if that tells you anything.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was when she was younger. But yeah, it's dark. It's like, it's weird.
Okay.
It's weird.
It's kind of like those claymations that they had back in the 80s.
Yeah.
Kind of weird.
Yeah. But on to some lighthearted, fantastic news. If you've ever wanted to take a private tour of the Louvre, well, I mean, just be Snoop. Because Snoop got to do it. Our national hero. Can we just take a minute and talk about how amazing the Olympic coverage has been with Snoop being the hype man for Team USA?
Yeah,
Like,
no, I
dude.
thoroughly enjoyed. I've watched him on the horse. I've saw him with like Michael Phelps swimming. He's just with Martha Stewart, like eating French food.
Yeah.
He's all over the place.
It's so great. And he got to go to the Louvre, which is so cool. And I'm so jelly. The fact that he got to see the Mona Lisa without waiting in line for hours.
No, there was no one there. Like it was a private, like
like after hours kind of situation.
Yeah.
But they took him around and they even quizzed him, and he was able to tell you which wing on the Nike statue was the original versus the redone one. Like he just watching him experience the work was really cool. Even if it's off screen and you don't really see what's going on. There's one clip in the video where he's like, is that person missing their head? Like, what are those two chicks doing on the couch? And then the guy's like, look closer. It's not the chick. Oh, it's pretty funny.
It's kind of like the take of like the average person.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It is. He's an everyman. He really is. Like, it doesn't matter what the sport is. He's there. He's going to be the biggest cheerleader, and he's just a gem. And he really does a lot to kind of give back to the community, which a lot of people don't know, which they're like, why is Snoop the dude? But also, okay.
Yeah.
But he does children's programming. He does all kinds of
Oh yeah. Philanthropy?
Yes, thank you. I can't say. Philanthropy.
Philanthropy.
But yeah, he says that he is Joey Lisa, Mona Lisa's brother,
I saw
brother,
that.
or something like that. It was just funny. So I just love this shot of him with the Mona Lisa.
Yeah. Shout out to Snoop.
So good. We love you, Snoop.
Yes, he's
love you
everywhere
so much.
and everywhere.
And everywhere, as he should be. So that was our little bright moment of news.
That was nice and refreshing from all the weird stuff that we were
we pivoted.
Yeah, that was a nice little segue. So in today's episode, we're going to be covering Lisa Frank. Wow!
I'm so excited. It's been a long time coming.
Okay.
We've been talking about it.
So the reason why I didn't want to cover Lisa Frank for the longest time is because there's not really, first of all, she keeps her private life
Private.
yes, highly private. And two, is there's no information that I want, such as like what inspired you to want to draw this and there's
Or how do you make these creations? Yeah.
stuff like that. It's so today's episode is going to be a drama-filled episode because there is a lot of drama and a lot of tea when it comes to Lisa Frank.
I'm so excited. I love you, Lisa, but I feel so weird with just one earring on. So I'm just going to have to. Okay. We're just going to. All right. Now I can focus. Let's get into it.
All right. So Lisa Frank founded Lisa Frank Inc. in 1979. Her dad was an art collector and introduced her to pop art like at a young age. In 1970, she studied at the University of Arizona and founded a children's jewelry company called Sticky Fingers, which I'm like, okay, want to
Like
know
those
more
hands
about?
that you would throw? That's what I think of.
That's what I thought. And I'm like, more information, please. And there's
What is Sticky Fingers?
yeah, I'm like, okay, well, what's that? So Sticky Fingers was also operated in the like guest house in her backyard, and that's also where she founded Lisa Frank Inc. She also later would be in like a big jumbo.
Oh, yeah. It's
building.
the garage business. You know, they all start somewhere, right?
Exactly. So she was 24 when she moved into like this big old warehouse in Tucson, Arizona, which is super cute, by the way.
I love that so much.
I know, right? I really like this too.
So on brand.
Very. But this is where it gets messy.
Oh.
And it's all downhill from here.
Oh, we just started.
Yes,
We're going
we started.
downhill already.
Going down,
Oh,
down.
boy.
Mind you, that this information, though, is from Jezebel. So, I don't know.
Grain of salt.
Yeah, bring us up.
Okay.
So in 1982, Lisa Frank has been married to James Green for some time. And James has been an in-house illustrator for the company. But in 1995, he started taking more like manager-like duties because Lisa was at home raising her kids. She just had a kid. So she's like, oh, like you can take care of things. I'll be at home.
Yeah.
So at some point, he's now the president of the company. And
Okay.
which he will
Moving on
eventually, he does move on up, but he will run the company into the ground. Allegedly.
Yeah.
So he makes a toxic work environment for everyone. He was illegally recording employees' phone calls.
Oh.
Yeah. Throwing objects, having like tantrums. And he also padlocked the doors so employees couldn't leave early because somebody left
Oh
early
my
and he was like,
gosh.
hell no.
So many lawsuits.
Yeah, right?
Just wow.
So he was also sleeping with the vice president.
Because of course he was.
Yes, Rhonda Roulette. And she was married also.
That is messy.
So,
that's really messy. I'm going to take your vision. I'm going to destroy it. I'm going to sleep with somebody else
And
while you're at home raising the kids.
yes. So
Perfect.
So 90s.
Perfect.
Speaking of so 90s, they were also allegedly like the higher ups claim that they were doing cocaine. But to me, this is the least of the problems.
What's a little coke?
Everybody did coke in the 90s and then that's fine. It might have went with the vision. Like, I don't
Anybody
know.
who had money, like, yeah, that was a thing.
Yeah.
No wonder he was such an illustrator for Lisa Frank.
Dude, yes. No, we'll get into that. I want to get into that later. Yeah, totally. So back when Lisa was running the show, she had like a good working relationship with Target. And that's also where I got my Lisa Frank swag, was probably like Kmart, Target.
Oh, yeah.
All sorts of stuff like that. But when James took over, he lost his good runnings with Target. So
Yeah.
Target took away Lisa Frank's.
That's a hit.
Yeah. So there was a lot more that I don't want to get into because it was a lot. I was just kind of trying to make like bullet points for everyone. But when Lisa got word of what was going on, she was like, oh, hell no. So she came back into the office trying to make amends with like the companies and stuff like that. And
Damage control.
yeah, very much so.
That's tough. It's almost worse than just starting fresh.
Yeah,
Like,
right? Like,
It's an uphill battle at
because
that
it's your
point.
name that
Yeah.
gets ruined and tarnished. you
Yeah,
know?
that's her brand.
Exactly.
That's her.
Mhm.
Sucks.
So in 2005, James moved out of his home with Lisa, but he stole a bunch of computers, trucks, products from the company. And there's been this long, like back and forth, years worth of lawsuit battles between the both of them.
Yikes.
Yeah. But in 2012, she partnered with Urban Outfitters. She's getting her good graces back. She was partnering with a lot more companies, and you can see like a resurgence of the Lisa Frank brand.
Right on.
So yeah, she started collaborating with like Pillsbury Doughboy for like the cookies, for like sugar cookies and stuff like that. And also like Crocs.
Yeah.
So there was like Lisa Frank Crocs.
Cute, cute.
I know, these are super cute. But James hasn't completely disappeared. He's on Instagram.
Why would you do that to yourself?
And
you just fade out into nothingness at that point. Like, that's the best for everybody.
Yes, absolutely. And then he also has a like new brand of apparel that he started with Rhonda Roulette, the girl he cheated on his
the
wife
affair
with.
partner. No.
Yes. Yeah, so
Dirty,
okay, check this
dirty.
out. I got a screenshot of it. He's got 268 followers, and look at it. It says, "Let the truth be told. I am the creator/artist of the famed Lisa Frank Company brand and its character art. Copyrights James."
Wow.
So his stuff is similar to yeah, no.
Is it though?
No.
'Cause,
This stuff not necessarily. There's like a little
Yeah.
bit more rainbowy stuff, but yeah, his is more.
well, I have no doubt that he would have designed things on brand.
Yeah.
Just like when we
Yeah.
paint, we paint with our guests in mind of what is going to bring people into a paint and sit.
Yeah.
You know, what kind of painting is approachable for everybody? What kind of fandoms are out there that, you know,
Exactly.
will draw people in? But what we create here might be a little different than our personal work,
Yeah.
whatever.
Mhm.
You would have had to do the same thing.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean he made the company that he drove into the ground.
Or did he? No. I was scrolling on the Tickety Talk one day, and this is kind of why I wanted to do the episode, because I'm scrolling on the Tickety Talk, and I come across Lisa Frank's son, Hunter Green, right?
Oh,
And he
the kid.
he's just talking shit, really.
Oh.
He's all on TikTok, and he's saying like, F all that you've heard about Lisa Frank. Lisa Frank was in its prime and its peak in 1995. My father did everything. My father's this, my father that, da. Stay tuned, right? So he would always say, stay tuned. But this was back in May of this year.
Oh.
It's August,
We hadn't heard nothing.
and there's nothing. So here's
Somebody sent a cease and desist.
That's what I think happened. That's what I think happened. Because this is my screenshot of me liking the comment. So this is that comment section of one of the videos. And people are saying, okay, this is the fourth video I've watched and I have yet to hear new info. I'd like the tea, please. And the next person's like, I feel like this is just satire and he's not actually going to tell a story. Okay, where's the tea? And I'm like, yeah, if you have so
Yeah.
much to say, like, and then his handle is also like the real Lisa Frank exposed.
That sucks. It sucks when kids kind of get put in the middle. I mean, we don't know what the upbringing situation was. We don't know what he was told. Oftentimes, and I'm not saying there aren't women out there who are manipulative and don't deserve to have their kids and stuff like that. But a lot of times the women will internalize problems and not tell the kids what the real issues are.
Yeah.
When there's a divorce or something. And it seems to me men are more likely to bad talk the women. And so they're only getting one side of the story.
That's how so the pictures I found, for instance, if you go to James Green's Instagram, you will find like his kids. You won't find Lisa, but you'll find his kids. And then same also with his son. I don't know, like they're cool. So
Yeah.
I don't, like you said, it could be one of those situations to where James is just saying all this stuff and just talking to his son and then kind of
He just
brainwash.
believes it. Yeah. Or there's something else to it. But I mean, throwing things and padlocking doors ain't cool.
Yeah.
It don't matter
Sus.
how you really
Yeah.
twist that. I mean, maybe the company was successful under his reign in some senses.
Yeah.
But
And then, so also for a while in Tucson, Arizona, Lisa Frank's, there would be like ads like, come work at Lisa Frank. And it got such a bad reputation for where people were like, well, I don't want to
no.
work there. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't want to work there at all. And then some people were like, oh yeah, I did meet Lisa. She was really cool. Some people were like, oh yeah, I met Lisa. It wasn't so cool. So we were like, that's why I didn't want to.
well, and you know, bosses be bossing. And
That too.
you just naturally sometimes don't like your boss.
Yeah.
Because they're telling you what to do. And it doesn't matter they're bad people or I mean they're wrong. You just might not like what you have to hear.
Yeah.
And so bosses tend to get a bad rap regardless in any situation. So maybe she had high expectations for people and that was her way of trying to clean house. and
Yeah.
turn things around was to buckle
So-
down. And I could see people resisting that.
Yeah. Well, see, she gets brownie points for me because she did take her company back and like
Yeah.
get Target back at least,
Right.
like another company. So
Yeah. That's got to say something.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. This is one of those things, Toya. When I go to the pearly gates, If I get there, I'm just going to find out all the information. I'm going to get the real story because that is my idea of heaven.
That is
get
so
all the tea.
true, though. I never thought about that until you said that. I'm like, wait.
I think about it all the time, and here we are again. Like, you know what? I'll just wait till I'll die. I don't know. I'll just know.
And then you're like, oh, okay. Okay. That is so smart, though. That is so genius.
I just have to believe that because otherwise all these mysteries will drive me crazy.
Yeah, no, that's so true. Well, with all that said about Lisa Frank, let's look at some pretty pictures.
Let's please.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, I swear I had this on a notebook.
Yeah, I had this. I want to say also that I had this as a what is it, the folders that you stuff your papers in or whatever.
So it was everywhere. It was pencil boxes. It was.
I meant to bring in to this podcast and I totally forgot. But I have this Lisa Frank, it's erasers. So it's just a bunch of erasers. And I never used it because I just loved it so much and I loved looking at it. And there's like a polar bear, there's like a beach ball, like a penguin totally and stuff like that. And
so
it's
cool.
So pretty. And a lot of my personal art, the whimsicalness of it. I want to say my art more here at Purple Easel because I like to do more like whimsical rainbow stuff is definitely inspired by Lisa Frank. Definitely. Just like, okay. Also, so I wanted to talk about this bear. Now, this bear looks like he's on cocaine.
He's kind of cracked out. Yeah.
Yeah. So when I learned
alien.
Exactly. So I'm like, okay, like that coke makes sense. You need a little bit of drugs sometimes.
Well, I mean, it is a lot of sparkles going around. So who knows? Maybe that's why everybody's so happy. Who really knows what's going on?
No, we got the bunnies, we got like water animals, the aliens, birds, everything.
Right.
Little magic bear.
Who needs ecosystems? It's fine. We just put them all together. It's cool.
And the unicorn.
Look at it. It's so iconic. And you know, I'm thinking about it as you said that the Crocs and the like partial resurgent. There's still a place for it. Oh yeah. JoJo Siwa kind of took over that niche of the sparkly, rainbowy, girly.
Yeah. No, that 1000% agree with that.
Yeah.
There's still, I mean, I would rock Lisa Frank stuff today.
Yeah.
So
absolutely. I mean, nostalgia.
Well, yeah.
we're millennials. So we're right for all the nostalgia stuff.
That's so true.
But I think even my daughter would totally rock it.
Yeah. Backpacks or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Pencils.
Yeah. It's got the universal appeal.
And this one's just a little puzzle again, like some merch.
Yeah, it's on everything. And the colors are so bright.
And they're so enticing. They're so catchy.
And there's like a 3D element. And at that point, I don't think there really was in a lot of artwork. Like, if you look at the rainbow on this puzzle, why does it look like bubbles?
Yeah.
You know, because it's got the shadow and the highlights to kind of give it that third dimension instead of just being a flat rainbow.
That's so true. That's so true. I wonder if it's because we were getting into like the digital age and you can do that sort of stuff.
Yeah, maybe. Well, that's why I kind of really wonder, like, how did she produce these things? Was it marker? Was it colored pencil? Was it all on the computer? Was it a combination of things? Like, it's so vibrant. I gotta wonder.
There is a like documentary kind of video thing where you can see James and other artists, and it reminded me, I don't know if you've seen this video. I kind of wanted to put it in here. But there's this video of this kind of older lady, and it looks like it's the 80s, 90s, right? And she's selling, it's like one of those infomercials. Oh, and she's like, she's got the rainbow thing. She's like, oh, you can make so many, and she's like just so excited about like rainbows. And you can make these pretty swirls. And But it reminded me of that, where you take like a wash of take a brush and you have like all the colors and you're like, whoa, and you just make some pretty...
One stroke painting. It used to be really, really popular back when I was in high school. I worked at Michael's and we had a whole aisle on one stroke painting. And it was all these different templates and it would show you, dip one side of your brush in this color and the other side in another color and then done.
Yeah.
And I teach like that a lot too. Like I'm like, hey, I'll give you guys a trick. Don't mix your colors up all the way. You'll get more variation. Just kind of swirl them together a little bit. And when you put it on the canvas, you're getting some of both colors.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed. I do the same thing. I call it half and half if I'm doing like half an hour. I'm like, take my brush, dip it in one.
Yep.
But
So easy.
Yeah, it is.
Gotta love simple techniques.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of Purple Easel,
Yeah,
we work here.
we do. It's true.
It's true. And I wanted to talk about a Yelp review that we got.
Let's.
And it's from Donita B from Rancho Cucamonga. She says, love the experience and atmosphere. Went here as a hangout with some coworkers. Staff members were supportive and friendly. I ended up hanging up here the painting I made there. would come
Close enough.
would come here again and try out the date night painting days they have with my husband.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so customer came, had a good experience, wants to come back with maybe friends or husband or whoever, but it's cool that she got here, got the experience, and wants to come back with like other people. And that's, I think, Trinity she had your class
Sure.
for
Was it that Monday night?
Oh no, before she was working here.
Oh, yes. Trinity. Yes, I remember. Yes, when Trinity got hired. So when we get hired, we come to an event just to experience it as a guest. And Trinity's one of our newer employees here. And so, yes, I taught Trinity neon nights. Yes, I recall.
But she was like, oh my gosh, like I want to bring, so people have a good time and they want to bring whoever, boyfriend, girlfriend, family, cousin, coworker, whatever, which I think is really nice. It's very much like word of mouth.
Yes, we are nothing without word of mouth.
Yeah, no, for real. And the email.
Yeah, it means a lot. And the Yelp reviews especially, because everybody looks up a place and they look it up on Yelp or they look it up on Google and they start reading reviews. That's just how it's done now, because that information is out there and you're getting the average person's experience, not the like corporate-y.
Yeah, it's great because we work here.
Right. Which, true. But yeah, I love that sense of wanting to bring more people, get in on this. This was a cool vibe. We have to experience it together. That's awesome.
And you can experience too if you come down here at SoCal, but you could also do it online as well because we do have purpleeaselplus.com. So if you did want to stay at home and you wanted to paint, drink your little wine,
Your own party.
yeah, you can pause, like rewind, go back a step if you need to. So yeah, check
All the
that out.
options.
Yeah, you got all the options. And we're also on YouTube as well. So make sure to like, share, subscribe, ring the bell,
Watch
add to the
us.
conversation. Yep. Do all the things to let us know that you guys are tuning in and watching.
Yeah.
So the next artist that I want to cover is, I hope I say his name right, Pham.
Boa? I would say Boa.
Boa Pham.
Yeah.
From Iowa. He uses color pencils, watercolors, and back in the days, he does that also, acrylic paint, but he kind of does more watercolor, color pencil. I don't know what I say, years back, because I've been following this guy for a long time, but he also does acrylic paints, though, and he used to paint on wood. I remember him doing.
That's cool.
But anyways, it's so pretty.
It's so pretty.
It's so pretty.
It is the next evolution of Lisa Frank. Like, you get the vibes, but it just is a different aesthetic.
Yes.
It's softer.
It is softer.
It's a little less.
It's softer and more like feminine, I guess.
Yeah.
And the fact that there's like human women.
Yes.
And mostly he does paint like women. So yes, I had to bring the unicorn in here because, like, of course, the unicorn.
There's unicorns.
But look at this. And I love that you can still see the texture.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, you can see a lot of the texture still, which I like on his artwork. So pretty.
Wow. It is Lisa Frank for grown-ups.
It is. It is. And this was a steal I took from like a video, but on the video you can see like close up the little droplets, the rainbow droplets that look so, so pretty.
Yeah, drops are funny. I've done a few rain type things where there's droplets like that, and there's a lot involved.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They're hard.
Mm-hmm. My fiance had a painting we do in the November times, like it's a fall painting, and there's a droplet on a leaf, and everybody's it's hard to explain. You're like, it's just, but yeah, water droplets can be kind of, it's so easy, but not. It's so, it looks like it's so easy, but it's to achieve it.
You got to have your lightest lights and then your darkest darks, but then there's also quite a range in the middle and a distortion, and it's. Wow.
Yeah, you could. I like to see the texture, the color pencil. Very nice gradation.
I love the like color in the hair.
Yeah, it's just soft enough.
It's so
to give it the
soft
rainbow.
and subtle. And then most of what's happening is the butterflies because the background is all kind of one tone. That's beautiful.
In more color pencil. I also thought that the kind of leopardy print also was a little Lisa Frankish.
Yeah, it totally is. And I like that contrast.
Yeah.
That hard black and white with all the like rainbowy hair texture. That's super cool.
Agreed. Again, the water droplets, color pencil, got the texture. I just love it. Got all the like little kind of flaky bits on the cheeks.
Kind of scaly. That's awesome.
And then this is me just screenshotting because I loved all of them. I'm like,
I can't.
yeah. So I took two.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
And then there's a little cat there at the bottom of that one. Kitty.
Aw, I love it. It's very happy times, but it's a lot softer and a lot less like in your face.
Yeah, it's you get the rainbow, but without it being like
Right. Yeah, you're not necessarily in a trip.
Yes.
Lisa Frank definitely feels like drugs.
Yeah, definitely. This is like you took a little bit of mushrooms, just to get a little buzz, kind of get the imagination stirring a little bit.
That's amazing. Those are fantastic, and I like all the different like styles, like the light on dark and
the range.
Yeah.
Some of them are pretty dark. Flowers on some of these are so pretty.
I really feel like I need to start drawing faces more. I'm so jealous of all these people who draw faces all the time.
I know.
They're scary.
Can't.
We can.
I can.
It's just the amount of work that goes into it. Is it worth the payoff?
You know, so I'm more of a, I can never say this word, oh my gosh. Caricature.
Caricaturist.
Yeah. Caricature.
Yes. I know what you're saying. Yes.
I'm more of that kind of style.
I am the opposite of that.
Okay.
I can't do that to save my life.
Oh.
I gotta draw what's there. I can't.
Okay.
I hate that about myself.
No, I mean, I think we all have something that we wish we could do, but we do a thing.
Yeah.
But we can't do it like other person does a thing.
And when I say I can't, I could if I really dedicated myself to learning, because really drawing is a skill and you just have to practice it. And anybody can do it. Anybody can come in here and start painting. You got to keep with it. And the people who keep with it are the ones that are interested and find the passion. And that's true with whatever it is. If it's a musical instrument, if it's writing, if it's, whatever artistic expression, it's the thing that you dig into that you become good at.
Exactly. And I am good at character careers.
Yes.
All right, Megan, I have a question for you.
Yes.
And it's a weird question. I got to explain it.
Oh, I like weird. Let's do weird.
So my question is about rainbows and human consciousness. So if you...
Okay, no problem. Let's do this. Sure.
So if you go back and look at art history... Way before Lisa Frank, you have all these great artists, and you have all these Baroques, and you have these prints, and you have Art Nouveau, and all these things. And I understand because people were in a certain time period, they don't open, like, okay, we had colors. We had all the colors. Even if they existed. So you could use them. And even when old boy discovered rainbows, I forgot his name. Old boy.
Yeah.
The guy who had the prism, and he's like, rainbow. Yes, there's all the
that
rainbows.
guy.
They still didn't F with rainbows. You know what I'm saying? So for a long time, it was just a certain style. And then one day, the 80s.
And then the 80s comes along.
And we get like a lot of different colors. And then one day, Lisa brings like rainbows. And we're all like, on board with rainbows. And now it's part of the society. It's part of our consciousness. What do you think happened? What snapped in the human psyche to where we just wanted to do rainbows? What happened? Why didn't we do rainbows back in
I don't
the Da
know.
Vinci days?
I don't know, which is weird because from like historical perspective, rainbows for a long time have been associated with God. because when he flooded the world, he gave a rainbow to Noah and the ark to symbolize this is our new covenant. We're going forward. We're not going to do this again. Like, let's all just chill out. But if you think of like religious iconography and stuff, it does not appear. It really doesn't.
Yeah.
It's halos and wings.
I noticed that too.
Creepy cherubs and all kinds of stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's people finally got good enough at rendering them in a way that felt authentic, that they were like, yeah, we can keep doing this. I don't know. I don't know what the breakthrough rainbow was.
Yeah, I know. I know
there's got to be a predecessor to Lisa Frank.
Yeah.
She just slapped him on everything and was like, it doesn't matter what color this animal is in real life, I'm going to make it rainbow. And we were all like, yeah, why is this taking so long?
Because we had like surrealism and stuff like that to where we can, hodgepodge images together and it become, something that's not real. Like that has been a thing that we've done for a very long time.
You think of Warhol, he was using a multitude of colors together that weren't really seen prior, but it was in that very flat kind of pop art style that he had.
Yeah. No, as I was doing my research, I'm like.
And then LBT, is kind of taken over the rainbow as a symbol now. So it's like, yeah, it has a lot of meanings, but it's just also an aesthetic.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to mean anything, but it could mean something.
Yeah.
And I think it's definitely more prevalent. You see rainbow on a lot of stuff, especially June.
Oh, yeah.
Pride month. Everybody does their rainbow swag or whatever, which I don't know. Like, this is the one time you're going to celebrate Pride is just because it's Pride month. But then the rest of the year you don't care. I don't know. But I like rainbows. Rainbows are fun. The kid loves rainbows.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, why were we not effing with rainbows?
I know. I don't know. I don't have a good answer. We have to research this a little more. I don't know. We gotta. If you know the breakthrough rainbow, maybe I'll have to go to Reddit with this one. Ooh, that could be fun.
Give us your guys' opinions.
Let's go.
What do you think happened? Part of me is just like it's the 80s. I don't know.
Drugs.
Yeah, drugs happened.
We came out of the hippie revolution with flowers and bright colors, and it could have been the drugs.
Maybe. Interesting. Yeah, give me your guys' takes.
I don't know, though, but there were like opium dens and stuff way back when. Did they have rainbow decor? I don't think so. I think it was all pretty muted. I don't know. Inquiring minds want to know. This is the big question.
Yes, this is what the people are asking. By people, I mean us, essentially.
We people.
Yes.
The most important people on Spotlight.
Yes.
Hey,
let's go. Well, I do hope that you guys enjoyed the episode. Again, please let us know if you guys have the answer or if you guys enjoyed the episode or if you have more tea about
Just
Lisa
give
Frank.
us some rainbow lore.
Yeah, totally. And don't forget to follow our artist as well. I mean, Lisa Frank, you don't need to follow her because she exists at Target.
You don't need to follow her husband. It's fine. It's
exactly.
just with his 92 followers or whatever. It's cool. It's cool.
Dude,
it's cool.
Like 200, but yeah.
Whatever it was. I mean, we almost have that many. Come on.
Yeah, that's true. Good point.
What does that tell you? That we're great. And we just haven't been discovered yet. That's true.
Yes.
And speaking of discovering us, you can go to purpleeasel.com, check us out online, or if you're in Southern California, come by the studio. We would love to paint with you. In the meantime, create more and create often.
Bye.